First of all, I'm Dr. Melissa Caudle, and I want to introduce you to a wonderful lady by the name of Sue Zook, and she happens to be the author of Becoming Miss Izzy. So we're going to spend the next couple of minutes talking about her book, as well as when it launches and what it means to her. Hi, Sue.
Hey, Melissa.
How are you today?
Doing well, thanks.
And I see one of the famous puppies that you mentioned in Becoming Miss Izzy actually drinking some water.
Yep, that one is Shelby.
That
we got
was
Shiloh over here waiting to start barking, probably as we get into this.
That's fine. This is just a candid interview. Let's talk about when the vision for you started for the book Becoming Miss Izzy. Tell me about that.
Oh gosh, I retired in 2012 and I wasn't ready to do that. I had spent over 35 years working in public education and have always had a passion to help kids. And I spent a couple of years figuring out what was I going to do, and wanted to work with as a health coach and wellness educator, wanted to work with families, and kind of got frustrated figuring out, how to get a business up and launched, and not even sure if that's what I wanted to do. And I've always enjoyed, writing. I've wanted to write a book for quite some time, and I thought, well, maybe this is a perfect thing, because as I was researching and putting together a program to help families, not just with weight, but other health issues and social, emotional, I thought I'm going to write a book for kids and tell the story of how to go about doing that from middle school age students' perspective. So that's kind of the inspiration behind it.
You have a lot of background in education. A lot of people don't know that. They're going to be brand new to you. How do you think that knowledge has helped you with the topic of Becoming Miss Izzy?
Oh my gosh, I was able to tap into not only the years of experience that I've spent, and my initial teaching was with that age group of student. So I have, a wealth of experience in that area, many examples and families, thousands of examples to draw on. And it just, really kind of breaks my heart to see the health issues and the health crisis, the epidemic of not only obesity, but other issues related to stress that we're putting on kids these days. So it was very easy to just pull from not only those experiences in the workplace, in my professional, but personally, because I'm the oldest of 9 kids and have always been the helper, and we've got, tons of illnesses in the family. So it was very easy. As I'm looking at my second book, I'm having to do a little more research, because I think kids are smarter than I am when it comes to the social media and the cyberbullying piece, which is kind of the topic of the second book. But this one was just a lot of stories from the past to pull from. So it was pretty easy.
Now you're a co-author on this, tell us about Mary.
Well, Mary is my daughter, and actually, my ex and I adopted her about 30 years ago. Actually, she was a 5-year-old when we adopted her, and interestingly, there's a lot of truth in the book related to her as well. So she has, from the time she's been able to write, been a great writer, great storyteller. Also shares kind of the passion that I have for helping kids. And it just kind of made sense as I had to kind of learn myself how to just get the ideas for this book out of my head and put it in a draft form. I turned it over to her to kind of add the juice, as we lovingly call it. And it's been a great collaboration. I don't know if she's in it for the long haul for a series, but we'll see. I mean, it's been a remarkable and very rewarding experience to bring her in, because I would like to inspire her to author her own book. She's dabbled in it a little bit, but I think hopefully this will be the motivating factor to get her on track with her own writing.
Well, and you're a brand new author at this.
Mm-hmm.
What has been some of your struggles, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I think, again, some of my biggest struggles are a personal need to kind of know it all. There's always been an expectation from the time I was a kid myself that I should, for whatever reason, know everything and be good at everything the first time I try it. So even though I have a passion not only to write but help kids, there's a whole process behind this, and it got frustrating in points, and I felt stuck, especially when it came to the piece of like marketing and how do you even get that out there and make it known to people. So that was probably the biggest frustration. Besides just, I mean, everything's been a learning experience. Anytime you go through something for the first time, it's like, how do you know who to go to and where to turn to have a book cover designed, or, a format or an editor and all of that. So it's been, thankfully, I'm a lifelong learner.
Yes, me too.
Self-proclaimed that years and years ago, because I could have thrown in the towel many times. It's like, there's just too much here.
Oh, I understand. Trust me. Yeah, I understand. I've been down that path with over 20 books, and it's like, believe it or not, it gets easier, but it doesn't get any easier, because the more you publish, you'll soon learn the more your readers want more. So you'll find yourself fulfilling a niche and a need for them, which is a good thing. That's not a bad thing at all. Now,
well, the funny thing is, I mean, I was encouraged by, a coach to make it a series, not a one and done experience. And there's plenty, certainly, of material with middle school to draw from. But interestingly, I was having a conversation with a friend who happens to also be kind of an intuitive or, sort of psychic. And she goes, I see this like at least 10 books. Like that. Over like maybe 15, 20 years. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be like an old Madeline Hunter or Louise Hayes or Kentucky Fried Chicken Colonel here in my 80s making this.
But you know what? It keeps your mind active. Writing is beautiful for that.
Oh, yeah.
Writers tend to get less Alzheimer's, by the way. So that's a reason to continue to write.
There you go. Never thought of it that way.
What a motivation that is for me.
Absolutely.
Now, your book launches on the 17th. And it's just like right around the corner. What are your last minutes to-dos? What are you doing besides this interview?
Well, besides this interview, I've had to go back behind the scenes and learn how to do my updates on my website and blog, and get behind the scenes and learning the whole Kindle program and how that's going to work. And I've been reaching out to and contacting principals of summer schools and libraries in the area to set up some summer book talks and get the book in the hands of readers now. So that's been my focus, kind of grassroots approach, as well as doing the beloved social media stuff, which I say that.
That's part of it, because it's marketing.
Exactly.
Others don't like to market, they like to write, but unfortunately they go hand in hand. I hate to tell you that. But they do. With 4 days left, there are people that I've been watching your Facebook, so I see the comments and things like that. They're ready for that paperback.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you feel, but as a grandmother, as a former educator, as a mother, I am glad that children want to hold books in their hands nowadays. Do they read them on their iPads? But how important do you think that is for a parent to really know the value of purchasing a paperback book to put into the hands of a child?
I'm happy to see actually a lot of the people that have been working with me in my book launch group, as well as they've shared things, are not as interested in the ebook and are waiting for the paperback book, and they want it for their kids or their grandchildren actually. And I think that is awesome, and that is something that excites me more than the direction I was going before, because I really do feel that this will be an affordable way for people to not only learn some things about how to help their children, grandchildren, but excite the kid themselves as they're reading the book to want to make some changes in their lifestyle and do it in a fun way. So I'm so thrilled, and I'm also trying to reach out, besides with libraries and getting this in schools, with an organization that promotes literacy and even has grant programs and things for schools, so that they can get a copy of the book, a print copy of the book, into the hands of as many kids as possible. So I think it's key. I'm excited about that, more so than anything I've focused on doing in the last 5-6 years since I retired.
That's awesome. First of all, I want everyone to know that you can find Becoming Miss Izzy on Amazon, but you can also buy it directly from her website, which would take you to Amazon, which is www.missizzy.us. That's how you find not only Sue, but Becoming Miss Izzy as well. And I encourage everyone to subscribe to her blog. It's very easy. Just fill out your name and your address, and that way you can stay up not only on what Miss Izzy is doing in the series of that book, but other endeavors that Sue will be involved in. So I welcome that. And Sue, one last words. What would you like your readers just to know as we're counting down to the launch date of Becoming Miss Izzy?
I would love it if they would give me, after reading the book, some ideas or suggestions on what direction or what things would they like to see Izzy involved in the future. And then also know that I am in the process of putting together like a companion guide, as well as some activities that mirror what happens with Izzy in the book. So I would be so happy to share those, and any ideas also for, groups of people, particularly involving kids. I'm open to any suggestions and ideas for how to get this into as many kids' hands as possible.
And how would be the best way to reach you? Through your Absolute Author email?
That would be great, yes.
So let's share that. That's
Sue
Zook.
Sue, with my last name, Zook, like cooker book with a Z.
Right, dot.
Zook dot.
absoluteauthor@gmail.com.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I cannot wait to get this out to not only my readers on my blog, but you can put it on your blog as well, now that you know how.
Perfect. Thanks, Mel.
All right. Have a great day, and good luck with that book launch.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Becoming Miss Izzy by Sue Zook and Mary Lazarski. Izzy is relatable and will inspire readers of all ages to not give up when things happen in life and can get you down. Becoming Miss Izzy is a great story for not only readers Izzy's age, but parents and teachers as well. Mary Urbanic. I found this book to be an awesome read for any middle schooler, girls and boys alike. I'm sure many children can relate to Izzy. Body image has always been an issue for children coming of age, and bullying just seems to be an increasing problem in schools. The book gives great ideas on how to approach these things. Don't think this book is just for kids. Parents can learn a lot from it too. Nancy D. As a middle school principal, I witnessed firsthand the struggles adolescent girls have with confidence, body acceptance, and peer relationships. I am sure middle school readers will identify with Miss Izzy and will find her story entertaining, informative, and enlightening. I highly recommend this read. Dr. Alice McCall. A refreshing, informative, great book for moms and daughters. A must-read for girls 9 years of age and up having any of today's problems. The book teaches many ways in which we can like ourselves more while growing up with weight problems, bullying, and all that young people go through, told in an easy and fun way. Language used is easy to understand. Thanks to Mom and a Daughter team, Sue and Mary, this makes Miss Izzy more special. Terry Morrissey. Becoming Miss Izzy is available June 17th, 2019. Order your copy today.